As business owners, we make financial decisions every day. Today, I want to take you through a comparison of the different options we have when we host online courses. And I want to demonstrate why I still choose Squarespace Member Areas for my courses. I've been hosting my online courses on Squarespace for years, actually. I used to use a page password, and now that we have member areas, I use that. So my students can now create their own accounts and their own passwords. So let me take you through my spreadsheet. I'm a bit of a spreadsheet geek. I will offer a download of this spreadsheet in the associated blog post. So if you are comfortable with using a spreadsheet and formulas, you're very welcome to download it and play around with it using your own numbers. So this is just like a really quick, very high-level overview that I want to give you on how the spreadsheet works. I am comparing Member Areas, which is the built-in membership solution from Squarespace, MemberSpace, and Kajabi, Teachable, Podia, and Thinkific. There are, of course, others, and you're welcome to add those in here or replace one of these with your preferred option. So let us look at the assumptions that I'm making. So I'm looking at the monthly fees for the membership program. I've also included a website fee on the assumption that we all have a Squarespace website. And I'm just choosing the monthly fee for the business plan. If you're using member areas, you don't actually have to be on a commerce plan. Member areas works with all of Squarespace's hosting plans. So a business plan is good. I always recommend the business plan because you get premium features with it. And if you have a business, it just makes sense. Then for Squarespace, you have a few other things as well that where you incur costs. One of them is for campaigns, which is the built-in email marketing tool that Squarespace offers. And I am going with the core plan here, which certainly is enough if you're starting out. And also Vimeo. In Squarespace, if you have a Squarespace website, you probably know that you cannot host videos on your Squarespace website. You have to actually upload them somewhere else, and then you just add a link in your website, and then they play in your website. It's very easy. So I've added the cost for Vimeo Pro here. If you have an online course where you have video tutorials, you will need to have the Pro plan because it's considered business. So I have factored that cost in here as well, and then I've just totaled up the monthly costs. Then additionally, some plans have a transaction fee, so I have added that here as well. Now this is mostly Squarespace Member Areas and MemberSpace, and all of the others, apart from Teachable, which charges a 5% transaction fee on their basic plan. Everyone else actually doesn't have a transaction fee, and that matters. Those transaction fees, they add up quickly. And they are in addition to the payment method fee that you pay. So Stripe and PayPal, you also have fees. Now, I think they might be raising this a little bit, so at the point of recording this, it's 2.9%. I think I saw somewhere that PayPal are raising this fee. So, when that happens, just go to the spreadsheet and update it. And then, we have the total transaction fee. So these are basically the costs that we're looking at, the total monthly fee and the total transaction fees. And then in the section down here, so what I have done is I've just taken a course fee of $250, and then how many do you sell per month? So we just have a few tiers here. These are just examples, and then I have a formula that calculates, this fee. So if you have a course that is, for instance, $47, then you just update this number here, and it will automatically update, your monthly revenue, and then it will also update all of these monthly costs as well. So you can absolutely play around with that. Or if you, don't want to use a course fee, you can also just type in a number here of your projected monthly revenues. And then here, I am using formulas, And again, you can download the spreadsheet and then play around with that if you're comfortable with formulas. But you don't have to touch those, so the only thing that you can change is the course fee, or here maybe how many you sell a month. Everything else is automatically calculated using the formulas. So let's have a look at the costs of each of these systems. So I have highlighted the three cheapest ones in green and the three most expensive ones in red. So at the cheapest ones, at the level where you make $1,250 a month, the Squarespace Member Areas Pro plan is one of them. And then Podia and also Thinkific fare really well here as well. Now, if you just have a look at this, at a glance, you can see Podia is actually doing really well. Their pricing is very competitive and they do have a very nice platform. I did have a really good look at Podia and I was considering it. I like them and the pricing certainly is very attractive. Kajabi, which is also very nice for hosting courses, tends to be more expensive. Now, if we look at member areas, and I will be talking, of course, about member areas because that is what I use. Now, I always recommend to go with the Pro plan because on the starter plan, they have a 7% transaction fee, which is ridiculous, honestly. That adds up so quickly, and so I actually do not recommend that. People often think because the starter plan has one member area, that is what they have to take if they only have one course, for instance. Now with the Pro plan, you get up to 10 member areas. So even if you don't have 10 member areas, I mean, I don't, I have 4, then this is still worth it because it has a much lower transaction fee. It's only 1%. So just for that, the higher monthly fee of that is definitely worth it, So with this one, you pay $35 a month and you have a 1% transaction fee. That's why I created this spreadsheet, so that I can actually have a look at, well, $9 a month, that sounds great, that is much cheaper, but 7%, as you can see, that adds up very quickly. So do your math. That is why I'm giving you this spreadsheet, so that you can do your math. So, if I look at this, for instance, I make, between, 6 and 12,000 every month. So my cost right now is, between 327 and 571. Now, if I look at these, compare that, for instance, with the high plans of, Podia or, Kajabi. Now, Kajabi is still, in this region, is still more expensive. But when you get into the, really high levels here, $25,000 a month, then actually, if you look at this, it's just over 1,000, just over 1,000. Podia is still under 1,000. Thinkific is actually the most expensive one here. So have a look at these numbers. Now, I am not sweating it if something is $50 or $100 more, because, if I make $12,500 a month, I'm very happy to pay $571 for the fee, for hosting my courses. And so have a look at this, and look at what is realistic. Are you starting out? Is 2,500 a good level for you? Well, here you pay 181. If you, again, think Podia is good on the medium plan. Play around with that. So I am actually very happy to be in this column here with what I have. I have the Pro plan. Let us take a quick look at the features, because once you've decided on the price, or if you're not sure, well, the prices are fairly close and similar. So maybe that is not the deciding factor. Then the features become really important. So here are, the main features that are important to me as an online course provider who's been doing this for many years, since 2016. And so over the years, I've gotten a really good idea of what is important to me and my students. ultimately, for me, it's all about the student experience. I want my students to have a really good experience when they take my courses. And then all the features kind of come, feed into that. And I have highlighted in green now the things that are important to me. You, of course, might have different things that are important to you, so feel free to change that. And, some people really want, for instance, affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is not that easy with Squarespace. You have to go with a third party, and that usually, has a whole set of settings that you then have to create if you still want to use member areas, for instance. If you really, really want affiliate marketing, I recommend to go with one of the teaching platforms, and because they all have it built in. And so for me, what is really important is that it integrates with my website. I love the all-in-one solution that I get with Squarespace. It's integrated with my email marketing, with commerce, with scheduling. I mean, everything is in one place. It makes it so easy to manage. And that is like one of the biggest points. That's why I've always wanted to host it on my website. And it's easy for my students too, because all they have to remember is my website. They don't have to remember, there's another link, that I need for Kerstin's courses. And so it also makes 100% brand consistency, makes for 100% brand consistency. Because it's part of your website, so using the same fonts, the same colors, the experience is just very wholesome and very consistent. That was also really important to me. I can't do that with any of the teaching platforms. Built-in email marketing, I get that too because I'm using campaigns. But if you use one of the teaching platforms, that's all built in as well. That's really nice too. I want to be able to offer, subscriptions or payment plans. Can do that with member areas. Easy to set up, very easy, because you already know Squarespace. So there is no learning curve really. I want to have beautiful styling options. I might also want to sell commerce products. Member areas is, for instance, great if you have a wholesale shop. You can use member areas for that. And for me, also bundles are important. And that is actually one thing that member areas doesn't quite do yet. So I'm actually using regular commerce products in Squarespace to still offer bundles. And then that ties in very nicely with member areas still. Now, if I look at the teaching platforms, that was really interesting. So for instance, Podia and Thinkific, yes, you can bundle. But if you add a product to a bundle that has, currently students, then they will actually get access to everything in the bundle, even if they haven't paid for it. I found that odd. And so that's something to bear in mind. And then in Teachable, also you have to have a parent class and a child class, but it can be done. So I actually prefer my solution here. And I know Squarespace are working on this to enable us to bundle member areas as well. And what I mean by bundle is if you have more than one course and then you want to offer bundles, where people can, for instance, buy 3 courses and it's a little bit cheaper, that is a bundle. So I want to give you just a very quick overview of what the experience is like for a student if you use member areas and why I love it so much and why I'm happy to pay what I'm paying, which, in effect is really not that much more or less than other solutions. So people just go to my website, they log in, they sign in, and then the navigation at the top changes to all of the courses that they have signed up for. I love that. They see everything at a glance. Now remember, we have a limit of 10 member areas. So if you need more than 10, then Squarespace is not the right solution for you. Now I have 5 courses, actually 4 of those I sell currently. This one I don't sell anymore. But people can just easily jump in and out of any courses they've purchased just by going to the navigation here, and then they will immediately see the menu of the course content. I absolutely love that. And what is nice about that, so let's say they are in a lesson in one of these courses. So let's say here's the SEO lesson, and this is what I really love, just the way that you can style this. You can use the sections and you have all these nice styling options to make it just a very nice experience. You can add obviously your video tutorials. If you use Vimeo, you can also set these little markers here, so that people can immediately, easily jump to a certain point in the video. And then, you can just use a very nice layout, for step-by-step instructions. So let's say I'm in this lesson for SEO, but I want to go a little bit deeper, and I have Kerstin's SEO course. So I just go to that, and then I say, well, I want to have a look at the schema markup. So I just go to the schema markups lesson. Very easy. So it's just really easy to just go back and forth. And let's say from here, well, I want to now look at my photos for my SEO. So I go back to my other course, because I know Kerstin has a lesson on how to prepare photos. And then, I can learn this. It's just so nice the way that you can style this, and I absolutely love this, and I know my students really love this as well. I mean, the feedback that I get has consistently been great for years, and it's partly because I use Squarespace to host my courses. And the other thing, I want to give you a quick look into Member Areas. So Member Areas lives in your pages on your website, and one thing I really love about it is that I have all these options to add different page types, so you can add blog inside a member area, a store, portfolio, or events, obviously a regular page. You can add links. That just gives you so much flexibility, for the kind of content that you have inside your member area. I absolutely love that. And what I also really like is how it integrates with my email marketing. So let me just show you here. So I just go to email campaigns. And so let's say, I have a newsletter that I want to send to my students, or, an update or something. And then in campaigns, I can select my recipients. And you can send, the same campaign to multiple recipients. And here is where you have your member areas. So it's very easy to just select that from here. It's all integrated. And one thing that I also really love about campaigns is that, again, it integrates with my website. So I can easily add blog posts and products, So, for instance, a blog post, I just select them from a list, and voila, here they are, and then I can style that if I want to. This whole integration thing is just wonderful. And that is also one of the big reasons, why I love, hosting my courses on my own website, So I hope that this has been helpful, and have a look at the numbers, have a look at your features that you like for yourself. And if you have any questions at all about member areas, feel free to come to my website. Go to the footer, there is a link to my contact page, and send me a message. Thank you so much.